Hey everybody, welcome to our first and maybe upcoming new time of 6:30 p.m. for the Team Sizzle. We have Laura Schoen with us tonight. Did I say that right? I'm gonna roll with it. Correct me if I didn't, okay? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Who's going to be talking to us about all things leadership. So if you're going to leadership next week, just take some good notes. You're going to hear different, it's going to be the same topics, but a different presenter, so you might get some different takeaways from this. And Laura, I'm going to throw it right to you and let you enlighten us.
Hi, everybody. It's actually Laura Sohn, but that was close. People say that all the time, Schoen. So Kenzie just asked me yesterday, and in fact, when she first asked me, I thought I was just going to be talking for a couple minutes. And then I said, so what do you need, like 10 minutes? I'll just go over something. She's like, oh, no, you're the main presenter. I was like, oh, okay. So we're visiting some friends in Florida, and we haven't seen them in a while. We probably won't see them in a while again. So I will be honest, I did not have a ton of time to prepare, but I'm hoping that I'll go through some of my notes and that you guys will walk away with some great information that will be helpful to you from what I learned. I will go over quickly. Do you guys want me to go over the new products, or does everybody know? Do you want me to go over theirs real quick? No?
Yeah,
Yes?
that'd be great.
Okay, I'm hearing some yeses. I'll go through them real fast then. So we'll start with those. So the ginger digestive drops, pretty excited about those. We have a natural deodorant that's coming out that's supposed to be more for sensitive skin with a Douglas fir and a Greek orange scent. The citrus bliss bath bar is being reformulated, and so that'll be available also in a 3-pack. And the yoga collection oils are now going to be available separately, which I'm super excited about. Maluka is now going to be called Tea Tree. And the Zendekin complex will be available hopefully April 1st. It'll definitely be April. They're hoping for April 1st. It's going to be slightly reformulated with some of the ingredients changing to extracts. The Mother's Day kit will be available April 1st. That'll have a citrus bloom blend with the white Brevi. It's really pretty. We got to see it at one of the stations. The Father's Day kit will be available May 24th. That's an Island Mint blend. And then it's going to have Aroma Clip diffuser that will go into your car vent. So that'll be fun. Another thing I want to mention that they went over, they talked about, the top products and everything. You guys already probably are well aware, but LLV is our top US product. But I didn't know if you knew that the reorder rate on it is 82%. And statistically, when people use LLV, their personal volume on the orders are 2 times as much as people who don't use LLV. So I thought that was a pretty good thing to keep in mind. You're not using LLV and getting all your customers on LLV, you need to start doing that. That's going to be such a good thing for not only their health, but for your business, right? Convention tickets, those are going to be released April 1st. And the dates have changed a little bit for this year, right? So they're going to be starting it one day earlier in the week than the usual day. So it's going to run the 9th through the 12th. And then on the 13th, the Saturday, is when they're going to have the Empowered Success, or the 14th, which is a Saturday. That was when they're going to have the Empowered Success. So if you want to sign up for that, you can stay one day later and do the Empowered Success series. They're going to be $169, and there's only about 11,500 tickets left. So make sure your teams are ready to buy them as soon as they go on sale. And the gala tickets are going to be $59 this year. So they're not going to have a sit-down meal. It's just going to be light snacks and stuff so that they can fit more people in there. More people get to go. So I like that idea. And then the Empowered Success are going to be $20 for those tickets. That'll be on the Saturday at the end. The hotel rooms, they are going to go up for sale March 25th for Blue Diamonds. They can get up to 2 rooms. March 27th for Diamonds, 1 room. And then April 1st for everybody. And you have to pay 2 nights down payment, non-refundable on the hotel rooms this time. So that's a little bit thing that they're doing different. You might want to keep in mind. Dr. Hill, one thing that he talked about that I thought was really, really exciting. He talked about how he's going to be focusing on getting back to the basics. So talking about the basics of how we use oils, right? And he's going to be touring the country, and he's dedicating the next 3 years for that. So he's probably going to be in a city near you talking about just basic stuff on how to use the oils. So he talked about oils and body systems, oil classification, daily use of essential oils, how to use and make blends, and understanding daily nutrition. He said that the scientific medical publications have increased by 400% since 2009. So you can see that timeline is when doTERRA started, right? So they've really influenced all these incredible studies going on. And he wants to come meet with us all belly to belly and share that information and really help us get back to that information to help us, which I'm really excited about, because I don't know when everybody here started, but when I started 5 years ago, the basics and being able to honestly talk about everything was just the way we all talked and taught. And so I'm really excited to get back to that information. I have asked 2 other ladies, which I'm going to let them kind of speak in a minute, and then I'm going to come back to me and I'm going to go over some of my favorite takeaways from some of the speakers. But I asked Crystal Massencup to talk about the incentive trip and to talk about the new healthcare. Bless you, Crystal. I just saw you sneeze. And then Jackie Ginther is going to hop on too and give us some more details about the Primeridian clinic. She actually visited and stopped in the new one in Nashville on her way back from leadership. So that was pretty exciting. Before I turn it over to them, though, you guys, this was a lot of big information they shared with us. And Crystal and Jackie or myself were by no means like experts on the details of this, right? So if they get something a little bit wrong, give them some grace. But when you need more details and want to ask more questions, seek that out, talk to your upline to get those, because we're just going to share basically, what we have quickly. We are trying to cram a lot of information from 3 days worth into just 30 to 45 minutes. So Crystal, you want to get us started with that information?
Yeah.
Kenzie, you want to unmute Crystal?
Oh, I got it. We're good. Can you hear me? Yeah? No?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay. All right, so let me get my notes up. I have a lot of stuff, but I'm going to go really fast. And I'm sorry, my voice is really bad because my kids got me sick. I'm just going to blame it on them. And I may cough in your ear. Sorry. So Kenzie already mentioned, like, really quickly that when we did that call a couple weeks ago about doing the incentive trip again, you really push hard during that time. It's kind of like being in Diamond Club, spending a lot of time doing just that focus. So I just wasn't sure if I was ready to do it yet. But then I heard them say, one, it was in Hawaii. Neil and I got married there. And the other thing they just coupled it with was the chance to be a founder and earn 1%. And I'm going to go over the details in a second of the revenue with doTERRA. And the person next to me, she was like holding my leg because I had tears falling down my face and I was shaking. And because it was so real, it was like, I could totally do this because I've already done this. And okay, so I'm going to explain what it takes so you can understand that you can do it too, because you should be very, very excited about this. There is, I'm going to tell you about the incentive trip first. The incentive trip, same as always, in the sense of the qualification period. The qualification period I wrote it down, sorry. Oh, those are my notes from you. See, I'm all out of it. You got it, though. You got it. March 1st, so it's already started, to August 31st. So that's the standard time that they do incentive period. And then this year, it's based on enrollments / LRP. So last year, they did introduce that LRP would earn you some points. So it's all a point system. And last year they introduced that they would cap off enrollments, which really allowed people who were newer, who didn't have an established organization, to really have a chance. And so all you have to do is share. And the whole idea why they combined both is that they want people who can teach new enrollments the importance of the lifestyle change and using the LRP and really understanding that this is a commitment and it takes a couple months for your body to regenerate. So you're passing on that knowledge of how important LRP is, right? And getting their health straight. So the minimum, so let me just clarify points. Sorry, I'm going to be all over the place a tiny bit, but not really. So to enroll, you earn points. You enroll 100 to 249 PV. This is where you take notes. That's 2 points received for each enrollment. They did not mention capping enrollments this time. So last time was like 60, how much? 125 enrollments they capped, and then everything else had to come from LRP points. So it's 100 to 249 PV, you get 2 points. And then 250, which is, just so you know, Home Essentials, and throw on a Copaiba because everybody needs that oil. 250 to 499 PV, 3 points. So you got your 3 points right in the beginning. And then months 2, 3, and 4, you'll earn 2 points each for each LRP that's 100 PV or over. And so you guys can do the math. But doTERRA did the math for us. And the minimum that you would need to enroll and have LRP for the next 3 months is 14. So someone would need to enroll 14 people. Does that sound doable? It's totally doable. What? Okay, with a 250 kit. 250 kit, okay? So 14 people, or next 25, they did 16, then 25. They kind of mixed it up. So there are slides on that, but it's possible. So let's just say that it's definitely possible. It's very, very exciting. The Advocate Healthcare Club. Oh wait, I didn't tell you where you're going. Sorry guys. So you're going to, a trip is going to Hilton, Waikoloa Village, and Waikoloa Beach in the Big Island in Hawaii. So I don't know about, that's so exciting to me. You also get to have a trip to all the 300 people who win that incentive trip will get a trip to the Sandalwood Farm that's in Hawaii. And I'm going to go into the HealthShare Founders Club, which is, they call it the Advocate Healthcare Club. That's what all the slides said, Advocate Healthcare Club. And so the Founders Club is 300 shares that are available. And so at first I thought just the first year, like everybody who wins the incentive trip would have a share. That's not how they're doing it. So how they're doing it, they're breaking it down a little bit. The first year, they're going to be the first 300 winners will have the opportunity to join a co-impact sourcing trip to Bulgaria, all expenses paid. So that's your incentive to really push hard this year because you get that extra bonus. They are going to pick the top 25 people. It's a lifetime spot for a founder as long as you meet the club qualifications, which usually later on down the road is like you have to enroll one person a month, and it might be like 3 months. They didn't give the details on that. So top 25. And then on the slide, this is part of, I'm not sure yet. On the slide, it says top 25 from the incentive trip winners will win. On second year, it says years 2, 3, 4, and 5, the top 25. So I don't know if it's the first year. I would assume it is, but I don't want to assume. I'm going to find out. I asked as many as I could and no one knew. So maybe they haven't told us yet. Let's just talk about next year. There's 300 positions next year. The top 25 is going to have priority seating at leadership and convention. That's actually the top 100, sorry. The top 100 will get co-impact sourcing trip or a share payout. So you can, I think that's where you get to choose. You get to go to Bulgaria or you get to choose a payout. Spots 100 to 300. 100 and 200 will get the same thing. You either get to take the trip or get a payout. And 201 to 300, those spots will get a payout. A minimum, he said, of $3,360. So the payout for the Founders Club, it's any new growth, so not complete, but any new growth will pay out of the greater of these three things. doTERRA funds, which is of at least $1 million, 1% of doTERRA and US and Canada growth, or 1% of the Prime Meridian revenue. So if Prime Meridian takes off and that is making more, we're going to get paid from that. So you can see that I'm speaking in, I'm going to get it because I'm going to get it. Is that cool? Okay. Those are the basic things. October and November, since the U.S. does not allow for resorts to be all-inclusive, doTERRA is running an additional incentive in order to allow us to win a Visa card that will cover the food expenses while we're there, so we don't have to stress at all. So I'm hoping to make that really easy because we already won, right? Okay, so the qualification period for the Prime Meridian is a little bit different. It's actually a year. And so the incentive trip is 3 months. And then that 1% Prime Meridian for the 300 spots, it's going to be March 1st of this year all the way to February 28th. And so it's a little bit different. So there are probably questions. I'm sorry. Hopefully I did it fast enough and clear enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you did a great job explaining that, Crystal. Thank you. I know all of us they actually went over it twice on the first day and the third day because it is kind of confusing. So if some of you are like, oh, I'm sure that there'll be more detailed explanations that can read and stuff like that will be coming out, I'm sure. So people will probably be posting that once that comes out. So thank you so much, Crystal.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I was going to say one tiny thing. Most people think it takes a lot of hustle, right? It does, but it takes a little bit more, right? Belief. So just believe in yourself. You guys, yes. If we could fill that up with rock stars, I would be unbelievably overjoyed.
Yes, that would be so fun. All right, so Jackie, I asked Jackie to speak with us a little bit, to give us a little bit more details about the Prime Meridian and the secondary health share program that is going to be run by doTERRA too, which is pretty exciting. So Jackie, you want to take over?
Absolutely. Hi guys. Thank you for having me on here. Can everybody hear me? Are we good? Okay, awesome. So I did want to touch on, Crystal, you did an awesome job. The incentive trip's amazing. I win as well. And that's actually where Crystal and I, really loved on each other and got to know each other. And so that was really fun to see her again at leadership. The incentive trip is actually 6 months. So it's March to August. So you got 6 months to really get the enrollments and busted and do it. It's so amazing. So, and I love how the Prime Meridian Healthcare Club overlaps with that because it's an amazing opportunity. And just like Crystal, I will be in Hawaii and I will be a founder. It's going to happen. I said, I'm going to do it. I wrote it in my notebook. It's happening. So belief is huge. So let's talk about Prime Meridian. I went, yes, high five for sure. We'll be there together. I'm excited. So on our way back from Atlanta, I said, we're stopping in Nashville because I want to see the Prime Meridian. I'm so excited about these clinics, overjoyed. I mean, I just, I love the opportunity. And so when they went over all this information, I said, I've got to see it. And we went and we saw it and it was incredible. And we talked to the medical assistant that was there. The doctor wasn't there. We actually walked in at 4:59 and they closed at 5. But I walked in and I was like, hey, we're here. Just talk to us for a minute. So, and the fact that they're opening these all over the country is amazing. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the premiums, which you guys are just going to be blown away at how affordable this is. So get your notebooks out so you can take some notes. So if you've ever heard of concierge service medical care, that's basically what this is on an extremely affordable level. Concierge services run $1,000 a month, and that's not at all what doTERRA is doing. So the pricing will be, and this is public pricing, an individual will be $100 a month. And this is the first appointment with your doctor is an hour. And then each additional appointment is around 40 minutes or whatever you want it to be, honestly. But the first appointment, they really spend a lot of time with you. So that just totally blows any other doctor's appointment. When you're in and out in 10 minutes, you see your doctor for 3, out of the water. So really personalized integrative care, which is really great. Individual plus 1 child is $120 a month. So that's really, really cool. A couple's $158. Couple and child is $178, and a family of 4, $200 a month, each additional child being $15 extra. Healthcare is never that cheap, right? if you're a doTERRA wellness advocate, you get 10% off of those prices. So that's a great discount. And then any employers of the clinics get 25% off. So I think that's really awesome how they're offering, those prices are just very, very affordable. They're also going to offer us a broker fee. So instead of having a middleman to basically get patients into the clinic, they're giving it to us. So anybody you refer to Prime Meridian that becomes a patient, you get 10% off your premium. So that's $9.90. I guess anybody, or I don't know if they have to be wellness advocates or not. I'm assuming probably anybody that refers people there. Yeah, Laura's nodding at me. So yes. Okay. So anybody that refers anybody gets 10% off. For every person, I think it's 2 people, you get 10%. And it just kind of keeps going down from there. So it's a really awesome opportunity to, save a little bit of money on your premium by offering your friends and family an awesome healthcare option. They're also, what I love about this is people have asked me, like, well, what happens? So they go to Prime Meridian, they get doTERRA. Does that take business away from us? No, it doesn't. It's going to help us. So they're going to, these people are going to walk into Prime Meridian. They're going to become patients there. They're going to be introduced to essential oils. They're going to love them, of course. Providers are going to refer them to doTERRA for their essential oil needs. They're going to enroll with doTERRA, and they're going to become an orphan, just like other orphans that enroll without anybody. And then there's going to be an orphan pool where they give those people to people in their area to become members. So it's in turn really going to help us and help us build our businesses. And I think, yes, sorry, I can't hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
There was a qualification for that. You have to have like at least one enrollment, right?
Okay.
And it was for silvers and above.
Okay. I didn't hear that part, but that makes sense. Okay. So silvers and above and 1 enrollment a month to qualify.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So,
or really close to that. Something like that.
Somewhere around there. It's not just for anybody. That makes sense. Okay, yeah. Thanks for that. Thanks for the clarification. So I want to talk a little bit about the different kinds of care. So there's the primary care, which is, Prime Meridian. So that's focused on preventative, which is what doTERRA focuses on, preventing sickness, disease, and not just treating the illness, getting to the root cause, delivered through a provider who knows you and understands your health needs. And that's going to be the Prime Meridian. That's going to be the doctor there and the doctors there and the other healthcare providers. And then they are recommending that we carry secondary insurance. So this is like catastrophic insurance. So this is like, loss of limb, that kind of thing. That's going to be, only necessary for health issues that primary cannot address, and delivered in the highest quality hospitals and specialty care centers. And that's Sedera Health. So that's something doTERRA is also going to offer as well. So it's kind of a 2-level thing. I don't know about you, but I'm all about just the primary care. Like, let's just be preventative and go in there and, let them help us with our oils. And my family and my kids are thrilled about it too. They actually asked me, are they going to have toys there, Mom? I said, I don't know, but they're going to have oils. Who needs toys when you have oils? So I think that's really cool how they're going to have, that option. So they also mentioned that the Prime Meridian providers are they're going to have qualifications for what these physicians have to have. They have to be board certified, licensed family practice or a primary care physician, and MD or a DO. And they've got to be open to using essential oils and learning about them and knowing how to use them. So obviously that's a really important part of this. Currently, the clinics that are opened are St. George and Nashville. The Pleasant Grove is in the process of being built, and I think going to be open soon. And then Phoenix is the next one on the list. So those are the 4 that I remember them talking about at convention, that they're definitely breaking ground and making that happen. Then they have tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 cities. So some of the cities, they're talked about Los Angeles, Riverside, California, Chicago, New York, and Atlanta. And I love how they're like spreading these out. They're doing a really good job, not just in one area. Tier 2 cities, Seattle, Portland, Sacramento, San Francisco, San Diego. California is a big doTERRA state, apparently. Denver, Minneapolis, Washington, D.C., Dallas, and Houston. And of course, I was thrilled with tier 3 cities. St. Louis is on the list. I cannot wait. Boise, Las Vegas, Austin, Tempe, Miami, Charlotte, Philadelphia. You get the idea. I think there's about 30, maybe a little under 30. They didn't really give us a timeline, but I know they said they're working quickly and they want to get these up and running. So even if they're not standalone buildings, they're going to have an office that's going to be available for us to go and visit and, be a member. So I did talk to the lady. She's not a nurse practitioner, but she works with the doctor at the one in Nashville, and it's super easy. I said, "Are you guys on a long wait list?" And she said, "No." She's like, "We are. Just go online, make an appointment, come in. I could probably get an appointment in the next few weeks, I'm assuming, and start working with them. So if you guys are in any of those areas, those 4 areas that are already being built, like go for it, get in there, get going, and then hopefully they'll have a better timeline for us, maybe convention on when the rest of them will be open." So I'm super excited about it. I can't wait I've been waiting to have a doctor that I really, really like. So I'm looking forward to doTERRA being that doctor.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jackie. That was a great explanation of it. You'll have to share on the Rockstars page the pictures that you took when you went by there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you, we were a little bit thrown off because it is in a medical building on a hospital campus. So we were like expecting a standalone building, but of course they can't build 4 of those in how many months? So I think it's really, but it was cool. It was a beautiful office. It was awesome. It just felt good to be there. We walked in, diffuser, doTERRA magazines everywhere. It was just all doTERRA. So it was pretty neat. So yeah, I'll post those on the page.
Someone's asking if they talked about the clinics being integrated with additional practitioners such as chiropractors, and they did. There's like going to be acupuncturists, like all kinds of different stuff, right? Weren't they listing all different kinds of things on the wall even, Jackie, when you went by there?
Oh yeah, the wall was covered with all different types of integrative options, and I remember them saying chiropractors and acupuncturists, and obviously modern medicine is going to be incorporated in that.
Functional medicine doctors.
Yes. Yep, all that kind of stuff. So I think that's really neat that they're just it's the whole body, it's the whole person. They're incorporating everything. So I don't think that the Nashville clinic had that. I know they've only been open for 6 weeks. So they're doing a grand opening in June, and I thought it was really cool. They're the nurse that worked there, she's never used oils before, so she's like getting into the whole world of oils. And I think they sent her like the AromaTouch diffuse kit to start that, talking about having her go to convention. So really educating the people that are working there on doTERRA and the oils. So I thought that was neat.
That's awesome. I'm really excited about that. I'll just have to go to Nashville for now, I guess.
On your way home, just stop in Nashville.
Right. All right. Thank you so much, Jackie. All right. So for the rest of the time, I thought I would just kind of share with you guys some of my favorite takeaways from some of the speakers. And some of it I think will actually be useful for you guys to use right away and implement in your businesses. So there were, I loved how they broke it up into breakout sessions on the second day, and you got to choose. They had 4 different breakout sessions, and each breakout session had 3 different rooms that you could choose to go to. So I thought that was really cool because you could kind of base that on what you thought might be the most helpful for you or where you needed the most development. For the first session, I went to listen to Betsy Holmes talk about developing leaders, and Stephanie Stavola talked about strengths coaching to activate your team. So some of the notes that I took that I thought were really helpful, and some of these I implement, and some of these I'm going to work on a little bit better. One thing that she talked about a lot was how important it was to always have a plan for your people. And I think that was a really great tip and really important. Always making sure, she went over 3 different fundamental plans that you need to always make sure you know what you're doing and your team knows what you're doing. But the first one being, how do new customers learn? So every time you enroll a new customer, how are you teaching them about their oils? Are you doing oil camp? Do you have some sort of training program for them? So making sure you have a plan for that. The second one being, how do you onboard new builders? So when you have a new builder, what is your plan with them? Do you have steps that you follow? With all the new Empowered Success stuff, those are great to kind of follow those if that's what you want to use. And then how do you onboard leaders? So when you have people that are getting past that builder stage and are stepping up and rising, what are you doing with them? What programs, what things do you have in place to help them? So I thought that was just a really great way to break it down. And I think if you have those 3 things covered really well, that's going to be just huge for your team. They talked a lot about the strengths test. I personally have read the strengths and I know, and I've been learning more about them myself, but I haven't implemented them a lot within my team yet. And that's definitely something after leadership that I was inspired to really focus on a lot more. So that's something that I want to definitely start implementing more. Top strengths are, so that you can communicate with them better. I hope you guys can hear me okay, because I'm getting messages that my internet is unstable. But knowing what their strengths are is going to help you understand them better, and that will hopefully help them understand you better so that you can build a better relationship with them. But also just learning what your strengths are and helping them learn what their strengths are, and focusing on using those to build your business is going to be huge compared to trying to figure out and learn all these things that you're not going to be good at anyway, right? Because if we're just trying to learn all these new things we're not great at, we're not going to be able to be the best leader we can be. But if we're focusing on our strengths and teaching and doing everything from there, then that is going to be just so much better for us. Have you guys checked out like on the whole strengths section on the doTERRA page? It's pretty amazing. It has amazing resources there. You can go there to get everything that you need. They've got the empowered videos, which are really great. They have videos on each strength, and they are focused on how to use that strength in your doTERRA business. So that's huge. The strengths guide, have you guys used that hopefully or looked at it? They have a whole guide. You can download a free PDF or you can order them, and you can use those with your builders. They have a Clifton Strengths app. So Clifton Strengths was who came up with the strengths guide, but they have an app that you can use. And then they also have these theme insight cards that you can get, that you can use these cards to have conversations with your people to help grow your businesses that way too. But some ideas that you can use with the strengths and with your teams going forward right now, if you haven't already, just some Zoom ideas and things that you can kind of implement to help your business and grow, is doing a Zoom call, just like we're doing here, but with the pipes. So going through the pipes with your team and going through, if you guys hopefully know what the pipes are, but that's all on the doTERRA page and all with the launch guide. That's just the fundamental steps that if you're following those and teaching your people to follow those, then you're going to see progress. You're going to do well. So you just want to learn what those are and help your team learn them. Using the strengths guide along with the launch guide when you're helping your new builders. So I talked about earlier mentioning how do you onboard new builders. That launch guide is the perfect guide. You can download that PDF for free. You can send that to the new person you're helping, or you can order some, and then when you meet with them in person, you can go through it together and give that to them. That would be a wonderful way to help launch a new builder. So just getting to know your team better, meeting with them regularly, promoting learning, right? So we know how important, hopefully, personal development is. So if you're doing personal development and you're having successes and you're finding things you love, talk to your team about this. Talk to your team about what you're doing. They're going to model what you're doing. You know what I mean? If you're posting this amazing book you just read or this course you're doing, and they're looking up to you, they're waiting for you to kind of help them. And these are just great ways for you to teach them to, help them to learn how important it is to learn. So you just want to be a really good example for them to do that. You could schedule a strengths call and highlight a few different leaders on your team to talk about what their strengths are. I think that would be a fun live or Zoom call to do. And also doing a Facebook Live talking about strengths. Doing that on your leaders page would be an awesome way, or even on your personal page, right? Just to kind of talk to people and introduce that idea to people. Another, for session 2, one of my favorite speakers of the whole thing was Ruth Goff. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but she's incredible. So of course I chose her as soon as I saw she was speaking. I didn't care what she was talking about. I wanted to hear her talk, but she was talking about growing team enrollments. And if you can get a copy of her talk, search it out on the pages. I haven't seen the video yet, but I was going to try to seek it out. And I did record her voice. I did a voice recording of her talk, which I can share with you guys, but it was awesome. It was filled with so many great ideas, and she's so inspiring. I loved hearing her talk. But she talked about growing team enrollments, and some of her things that she talked with really helped me to kind of think about things a little bit differently. But she talked about when you're stalled out, you're not enrolling much, your team's not enrolling much. What do you need to do? What do you need to think about Somebody said Ruth who? Ruth Gough, Gough is how you spell her last name, if you guys want to look that up. But she talks about, let's think about why did we enroll? What inspired us to enroll? What were those reasons that we enrolled? And then why did we decide to start enrolling other people? So we want to help our customers and our people get to that place, get to that feeling where they are super excited to enroll and then super excited to start helping other people enroll. So think about why your customers are your customers and why are your business partners choosing you. So if you're in your head thinking, I don't know why. I don't know why they are choosing me. Okay. No, this is not, she started yelling at us. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. All right. We need to start thinking of ourselves on the level that we really are on, right? That we're incredible, we're enough, we're amazing, and people want to enroll with us and be a part of our team because of all of these reasons, right? So we want to start thinking of ourselves in that place, and we want to start thinking about what we are the message, right? We are the message that we're putting out there for people. So we want to think about what message we're putting out there. And there's two different ways that we're getting enrollments. There's two different ways. And this all goes back to, if you guys ever listen to Simon Sinek, he's pretty awesome. If you look for him on YouTube, he has so many powerful videos that will be very, very helpful to your business. So definitely write his name down. It's Sinek is how he spells his last name. But she talks a little bit about his two different ways to influence behavior, and that's manipulation and inspiration. So manipulation can be used for good, and it can also be used for bad. And there's two different ways we can use that in our doTERRA business. The first one being price manipulation. So doTERRA uses price manipulation all the time. This is this common practice, right? When they're doing specials on things, or they're doing 20% off enrollment kits 1 month, things like that. But then when we do our own price manipulation, this is where we're starting to really devalue our product. This is where we're starting to hurt our business and hurt other people's businesses. So we really want to try to focusing on following doTERRA's lead, because they have them every month practically, and they're incredible. And when we are trying to do more on top of that, that is really starting to value our business, and it's starting to look best. And people see that. And feel that. So another main reason why we don't want to do that is that we don't want to grow a team of people that are just looking for the best deal, because then we're going to lose them to another better deal anyway, right? So we just want to focus each month on following doTERRA's lead. Promotions is another way to do price manipulation. So like this month's promotion is going to be, the doTERRA or the Deep Blue special, right? So that's one way. So this is another way we can just follow doTERRA's lead with this. Another not so great way to do manipulation and influence people's behavior is by using fear tactics. So this is going to be like when, Ebola's coming, you're going to die if you don't have oils, stuff like that. We're trying to scare people into buying our oils. Aspirations. So getting people to, let's have our home toxin free. Let's change your life completely in 1 week, like things like that. So these are just kind of novelty, all along the ways of novelty ways to kind of gain customers and get people to enroll. Novelty is another one that she listed, like lose inches in a week and stuff like that. So these are all kind of manipulation. Another one was peer pressure. So good moms choose doTERRA. Like if you're not a good mom, you're not using doTERRA. So that's another way to do peer pressure. So these are kind of the things that we don't necessarily want to focus on. We want to focus on inspiring people. So I just thought that was a much better way to kind of think of it, that shift and that change. And there's a lot of reasons why this is what can actually help you gain much more loyal customers that are going to stick with you because they've joined you for completely different reasons. And I don't want to think about the price that you're willing to pay. for the money that you make. And when you're using these methods of manipulation, then you're going to bed really tired, right? And exhausted, because you're just constantly chasing people, trying to come up with these novelty ideas, these promotions, all these things. So let's get some clarity. Let's make the shift now over to focusing on inspiration, and let's get some clarity about who we are, why you're here, and what you're meant to do, and how you want to inspire. How this is kind of along the lines too. She didn't really talk about this, but when people talk about your brand, you know, that energy that you're putting out there, this is all along those lines. So we want to start with our why. Simon Sinek also has this great video about the golden circle. So definitely watch that video. It's a wonderful video. It talks about leading your sale with why. And when we lead with that instead of what we're selling, that's going to be a huge shift. I won't go into all the details for that because that'll take a while to explain, but just search for that golden circle with Simon Sinek. And that will kind of really open up your eyes to a whole new way of talking about your oils. So when we shift to this, instead of going to bed tired and exhausted, we're going to bed tired, right? But we're excited. We're excited about the work we're doing and what we're doing and how we're inspiring people. And it's going to be a lot more fulfilling. So we want to ask ourselves these questions. Is what you are offering with your enrollment a commodity or inspiration? Are you teaching your team to sell a product or a lifestyle? And this one I really liked. Are you inviting others to experience doTERRA as a membership or as a movement? Are we talking to them about healing hands when we're teaching them about them? Are we explaining to them everything that comes along with this other than just selling a product? And when we're focusing on these things, not only are we stepping up and helping our team learn these things, we're being leaders, we're then holding space for other people to also find meaning and purpose, right? Because then they get to see what we're doing and they want to be a part of that. And then they're inspired to share that with other people too. So can you see how this is going to be a completely different way of looking at it than just selling oils, right? So I just loved the way she kind of broke that all down and shared all that with us, because your teams are waiting. They're waiting for us to show up and inspire them with just this whole new way of looking at it. If you're not already, if you already are doing all that, kudos to you. That's awesome. So a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Leadership is a choice. It's not a position. So be who you are meant to be, and you will set this world on fire. All right, so that was kind of my takeaways from her talk. Another speaker that I really loved, I'll see how, we don't have a lot of time left. I'll go over just a few more short things. It's so hard to cram all this information in such a short period of time. All right, so Jenna Cross, I don't know if you guys are familiar with her. I love Jenna Cross. She is, if you guys, Dana Moore, if you're familiar with her, Jenna Cross is one of Dana Moore's leaders. But she talked about turning new members into product evangelists. So I thought this kind of helped back on what I was just talking about with Ruth. But so identifying, she talked a lot about thinking about your ideal customers, just thinking about it more on a different level and visualizing things better so that we know what we're looking for. So we're identifying our ideal customers, the people that we want to be our customers. So what message, again, are we putting out there to attract these customers? What are their goals and values? What are your ideal customers' goals and values? So if we're writing all these things down, we can think about also what we're talking about, right, at our classes or our one-on-ones. What are their pain points of your ideal customers? What is their, stress, anxiety, sick kids? They want to make extra income. What would your ideal customers' objections be? So we kind of can think about this, then we can talk about them during the class or during our one-on-ones, so they're already being answered for them. So an example would be having to talk to their husband, all right, or something like that. So you can talk about during your class, like, my husband loves the oils for this reason and that reason, and bringing up that. We got a couple, we don't really have any men on the call, but I think it's important to shift from this not being just a woman's thing, right? We want to include the men, talk about men, and make it more normalized for men too. So I think it's important to kind of recognize that and talk about that also. We want to visualize this person. Where are we finding our customers? So let's really think about that, right? Classes or one-on-ones if we're having those, but also vendor events, or, you know, in moms groups or different clubs or different things like that. I know a lot of people do BNIs, different things about that. So let's list out and think about where can we find our people? Where can we find our customers? And once we have customers, all right, so now we've got our customers, let's give them wins. Let's work with them really closely and not just expect them to figure this out on their own. Let's work with them really closely to get them those big wins that get them very, very excited about the oils. And so they're wanting to share. So let's really focus on getting to that point. Because I know I've been guilty of it before too. We learn along the way, but you enroll somebody, you might do a membership with them. Maybe you put them through oil camp. And then we just kind of check on them really well. But what if we have our customer and we have our list of things we do, and one of them is, did they get a big win? And let's focus on that with them and get that win for them and make sure they get it before you kind of forget about them. You know what I mean? I think that would be, you may imagine if we got all of them a huge win, like really soon. She also suggested, which I thought was pretty interesting, was giving them a way to share. So she gives her customers a healthy, can be simple guide and some vials pre-filled with some samples. And she says, I know you're going to have some friends and family that you're going to want to be excited to talk to them about. So I made these little things for you so that you can share them with your friends and family. So maybe just 1 or 2 little vials, really inexpensive for you to make. And then they can share that with somebody that's close to them. So they're already sharing right away. It becomes, you want to make it like immediately, like, you're going to want to share with people. You're going to have friends and family that want to hear about this. Here's some ways you can do that and help them start sharing. You want to or you could offer a free symphony of the cells. So that's a really quick, especially if they're sick, if one of their kiddos are sick, you can come over and show them how to do it. This is a really awesome way to get them a win, a very simple thing for them to do, and they're going to get excited about that. And of course, providing continuing education. So you want to be checking in at least monthly with your team and your people, doing some kind of continuing education, whether it's in person or online, that they can get to. So that's all I want to go over at Jenna's talk. And then I have one more thing I wanted to make sure I went through with you guys, because I thought some of these tips were really helpful. This was the panel that we heard from. And so they were just giving some tips at events and to get people excited and coming to events and stuff like that. So one thing that one of the women suggested was having a man greet people as they come in and put wild orange on their hands and peppermints. She said that people loved that, walking up and having a man do that. So I thought that was an interesting tip. And I could totally see doing that with my husband, because he loves going out and talking to people. So I'm definitely going to implement that. So they talked about having like a welcome committee. So when people are coming in, they're getting this amazing greeting. They feel like they're home. They're feeling super welcomed. Having a little table set up maybe where they could have a little aroma touch technique for their hand done really quickly, just to give them a little experience. For the people that got there a little early, they're just kind of milling around and stuff like that. There was a free game app that they mentioned called Kahoot, K-A-H-O-O-T, that you can use at events. You could put that up on the wall and have people pull out their phones, and they can all participate and play games and maybe win a prize. So I thought that was kind of a fun way to get people involved and excited. Putting Post-it notes under random seats around the room and saying, hey, everybody, look under your seat. If you have a Post-it note, you get to win a prize. But just giving them experiences so that they're not just coming to an event and just sitting there and hearing someone talk, but there's just fun stuff going on. They're getting really excited, and they're wanting to bring friends because they know it's going to be fun, that the friends are going to have fun. So I just thought those were some really great tips that I kind of got out of that panel. All right, so it's 9:20, and we're definitely a few minutes over the 45-minute mark. So I guess I'm going to stop here. I wish I could share more with you guys, but I think I covered some of my favorite stuff. And I know somebody did mention Rachel Hollis. I don't think I can do Rachel Hollis for you guys. You know, she's Rachel Hollis. But definitely download her books, and her Audible and stuff is super awesome, and that's so fun to listen to. So she's got some of her books on Audible if you guys aren't readers. So
Awesome.
All right, do you guys have any questions or anything?
Just real quick, can I just ask you, because I mean, we could keep you here all night, but I'm not going to let these guys do that to you, because if you wouldn't mind sharing, why do you feel like it's so important to go to leadership?
Well, so for me, I feel like my cup is so filled up right now. Like I have so many great ideas, and being with the people of that caliber, that many people all together, the vibration is insane. Like you are just being lifted up and up and up and up, and everybody's being lifted up together, and it's amazing and it's incredible. And there's just no way that I could even begin to bring back that information, you know, and even begin to touch upon really relaying everything there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's so many more speakers that were incredible. I try to choose tidbits of stuff that I thought you guys could take and use, and I try to focus on that because I didn't think I could totally just repeat inspirational stuff if it is good, you know, on the Zoom chat. But yeah, I feel like just going there is, I mean, it's probably the most important as a leader event that you can go to, you know, just that information that you glean from all the other leaders. And the leaders that they have speak there are incredible. They're like, they choose on purpose the most inspiring, you know, that's not everybody's strength, right? To stand up there on a stage and be incredibly inspiring, you know, and they give us so many ideas, and it's just, yeah, I don't think I would hate to ever miss a leadership. Yes. Did that help?
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I know that a lot of leaders say that, you know, it's like more important, like convention is great, but leadership is where you just said your cup really gets filled to give you the fuel you need to do this.
Yeah. I mean, I think as a leader, it's vital for us to be at both. I think it's even more vital to be at convention for our teams,
mm-hmm.
to get our people to show up. If you're not going, they're not going. So being there with them, help them catching that vision that we know they'll get from going to convention, like that's so important. But for your own personal growth, mm-hmm. leadership is where you got to be. I mean, that's mm-hmm. huge for your growth in your business and your personal development, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Does anyone have a question that they want to ask real quick before we let these ladies roll? No, we're good.
Wait, no, one Rachel Hollis thing. You have to give us one Rachel Hollis thing. Somebody.
How about Jackie? She's like the biggest Rachel Hollis fan you'll ever meet.
Okay, so I'll talk about Rachel Hollis. They had a meet and greet that you could like win to meet Rachel Hollis, and I'm pretty sure they didn't choose me because I might have like mauled her. She's just I first heard of her at convention, and I had not heard her name before. I'd heard her name, but I never listened to her. So I listened to her book. I watch her morning show occasionally. It's a really bad time for me, but when I can, she's so real. She's exactly on stage like she is in anything you've ever listened to. Extremely motivating. She just talked about like showing up in the space that you're in, being your true self, not putting on a face that isn't you. Like basically, you know, she said, I hate the phrase fake it till you make it. She's like, I hate that phrase because you're not being you're faking you're faking everybody out. And how can you be that person, your real person, if everyone thinks you're doing great and you're not? Like, how can anybody help you get to where you want to be? So just really talked about, you know, just being real, telling people what's going on, asking for help when you need it, because that's huge. I mean, in this business, if your upline or your sideline or whatever's reaching out to you and been like, how are you doing? I'm great. I'm awesome. I've got this. Like, we want to be positive, right? You want to say, yes, I'm going to be diamond. I'm going to be this, like, I'm going to get to the next rank and I got this. But sometimes you got to reach out. Sometimes you hit those points in your business where you just stall and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel lost. And you reach out to people and say, hey, maybe I need a mentor. Maybe I need to just sit and chat with you. Maybe I just need to be in the doTERRA culture. Like, it's been a while. Holiday times are the worst for me. And I'm always like, Laura, we need to hang out. Like, I need doTERRA back in my life because, when you get out of it for too long, I feel like you kind of like lose that a little bit. So she was really all about just, I think she really stressed that a lot was, ask for help, be who you are, be your true person, and do you. You are not anybody else. Crystal just said something. What did you say, Crystal? I'm trying to navigate my phone and read chats and naming your inner voice that speaks bad to you. Yes, exactly. So that's a huge one too, is that negative self-talk, that person that says you can't do it, you can't get there. Like, yes, you can, and push that person out and, focus on things that help you to get to where you want to be. I think that's just one of the biggest things for me is, don't let that voice tell you can't do it, because you can totally do it. And Laura hit the nail on the head. Personal development. I mean, I didn't start implementing that till recently, probably the past 6 months. And oh my goodness, it makes a difference. Rachel Hollis is amazing. Obviously, I love her and I listen to her. Another really great personal development person that I'm kind of becoming obsessed with a little bit is Ed Mylett. Mylett. He's interviewed Rachel. He's really good friends with Tony Robbins. We all know Tony Robbins. So look up Ed Mylett. He interviews really amazing people. And so just working on yourself so that you are confident. And that's just what Rachel talks about is, who cares what people say to you and about you, and just put, if they're negative, push them out. Surround yourself with people that are positive. So I think I recorded her whole thing and I've listened to it since then. Everybody's like, share it with me. I'm like, it's an hour. Like, it's an hour for talking. So that was my takeaway of Rachel.
Well, and I also think, because she talked about like us being, vulnerable and not pretending, it opens up space for others to do that too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a good example to set, that nobody needs to be perfect. Nobody has to act like they're perfect. Yeah.
I agree. Absolutely. Because we're not.
Nope.
You do the best you can with what you got.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. This was fantastic. Next week, you guys, after we do leadership, so I guess in 2 weeks, we're going to do the same call and get the takeaways from the West Coast leadership. So there'll be different nuggets coming from now. So look forward to that. I'm going to stop the recording.